Whole sports all plays. Yeah. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. Sport all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. Whole sports all plays.
All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Gonzo The Judge Sports Talk here on Monday, October 17, 2022. Got a lot to talk about. Had a lot happen over the weekend. Had a big upset in college football. Had the baseball playoffs going on, which I know Jonathan really don't want to talk about baseball after what happened this weekend. But you got NBA starting tomorrow. We got a big Monday night football game on right now. It's tied 16-16 with about 30 seconds left in the game. Chargers trying to get in field goal range to win. I need Mike Williams to get a catch, damn it. But I'm joined by always by the sports judge, Jonathan Mathis. What's going on, Judge?
What's going on, Gonzo? I'm better than what I was the last 48 hours. I can tell you that, man, because the Dodgers, once again, they let me down. But you know what? It never fails. As I tell people, Gonzo, I'm always prepared for a letdown. Because I knew it. I predicted it. I called it. The Dodgers were going to lose that series. And they only won one game in the whole damn series.
Campbell, support my boy John's channel, waiting patiently. Let's go. Hey, we appreciate you joining us.
I appreciate you, man. I really, man, I have much love for him, man. He shows up on our show.
How's it going, Glenn? Glenn's on about every show I do. So, hey, Glenn,
yeah,
I really appreciate it, man.
Yep. We appreciate the love.
He says Chargers are going to win. It's 4-1. They're not in field goal range. Oh, there's only 1 second left. This game's going to go in overtime. We're going to get an overtime on Monday Night Football. But let's start off with the college football real quick. Big win for the Tennessee Volunteers. Knock off Alabama. Tennessee moves up to 3 in the nation. Alabama moves to 6. This could be the first year since if I believe I'm right, the first time since they started the 14 playoffs. This might be the first time Alabama don't make it.
It's looking that way, right? I mean, hey, look, for Tennessee, this was a long time coming. They finally beat Alabama. It took them long enough. But see, you have a different culture in Tennessee now. They have a lot to play for now in Tennessee because they have the right coaching. They have talented players. They have a quarterback, to me, who has pleaded his case for Heisman. He should be mentioned more. He should be, in conversations to win the Heisman Trophy. No question about it. The way he's played and the numbers that he has put up, I'm talking about Hendon Hooker. He's definitely a Heisman hopeful. Look at the way this man has played. He has led this offense. Been able to execute. He's a great passer. He finds his receivers. And he has a pretty spiral. And he was able to connect with Hyatt, who had, I believe, 5 touchdown catches in the game. Unbelievable. It was a great day for Tennessee, an awful day for Alabama. Alabama fans, the ones that did attend the game, they looked very dejected. They looked lost. I don't know if lost is the right word, but they looked shocked. They looked shocked. And those fans in Alabama and Tuscaloosa, however the hell you pronounce that city, they're spoiled. They're spoiled rotten in that city. They're so used to winning. when they lose a game, they freak out. It's like everyone goes, "Oh my God, we lost the game." You can't win them all. That's human nature. Come on, you're not gonna win every damn ball game. It's humanly impossible. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Unless you're the Dodgers and you lose all the damn time in the playoffs. But that's a different story for a different day or for another segment. You're on mute.
I'm muted to check our sound. I'm muted to check our sound, and I forgot to unmute. But no, it's a big win for Tennessee. I mean, and a big day. You had College Game Day there. Peyton Manning was there on College Game Day. So I mean, and they showed up for College Game Day. Man, that crowd right there. I don't know if you watch College Game Day on Saturday mornings or not, but man, that crowd was huge, and they were fired up. It's a big win, and Tennessee has a big matchup coming here in a few weeks against Georgia, and if they can somehow beat Georgia as well, man, they really solidify their spot in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's a big game on their schedule. If Tennessee does that, you're right. They definitely solidify their spot in the playoffs, and they have definitely made a case. What's up, Mickey? They have
going, Mickey.
You know,
my dad said if Alabama wins the rest of their games, they'll make it. And see, that's the problem is Georgia and Tennessee are in the same division. Alabama's in the other division, so Alabama could still make the SEC championship game, and Georgia and Tennessee are going to have to play each other to see who gets in that game. So
Alabama still
could favor Alabama. They can still get in, but
right.
I don't know. I don't know if they can beat Georgia or Tennessee in the conference championship game. If they don't win the conference championship game, and they have 2 losses, they might not get it. I don't think they'll get in.
Right. But Chris, didn't you envision this with Alabama? Because there was some games that they looked shaky, and they looked like a team that can be beaten. So this was most likely going to happen at some point where they would slip up against a better opponent, and we saw that this Saturday.
Yeah. Quick update: Broncos got the ball first in overtime, so if they get a touchdown here, game's over. So we'll see what happens. They got the ball 2nd and 5 on their 30-yard line. So they still got quite a ways to go to try to get a touchdown or get in field goal range. But they keep letting him run the ball like that. It ain't gonna take him too long. But no, but then after college football, let's go ahead and talk a little Major League Baseball. We'll talk baseball, then we'll go to NFL. Got the playoffs, got one division series left, the Yankees and the Indians, they got rained out tonight. Got postponed to tomorrow. And now whoever wins between the Yankees and Cleveland won't get no rest at all because they play the next day. So it's going to be that'll be an interesting thing with this since they got this rain. Now Cortez is going to start tomorrow for the Yankees. I'm not sure if the Indians are changing their starter or not. I haven't heard. But what do you think about this series between the my mistake, I called them the Indians, the Guardians. But what do you think? What do you think about this game coming up tomorrow? You think the Guardians are going to be able to pull out the upset?
They could possibly. I mean, this can go either way. But if you're the Astros, you're loving this. I mean, you can take huge advantage of this because neither team will get any rest. They're going to be walking into a new series without any rest. So this is an advantage for the Astros. But the Guardians can really pull off the upset. I think the Guardians are a team that people have overlooked, that people have forgotten about in the American League because they have played some quality baseball. They played some good baseball. They played team baseball. And I said the other day that a lot of it has to do with Terry Francona. I mean, this is a guy who brings that old school mentality to this team. And I think his old school philosophy is ingrained in his players, and it has really, really showed by the way this Guardians team has handled themselves, and how they have played in this series against the Yankees. This is a team that won't back down. This is a team that has power uh, hitters in their lineup. You have Jose Ramirez, who I always say is unappreciated, who doesn't get the deserved recognition. Um, People don't talk about him like they talk about some of the other major league players around the league. And then, of course, you got stellar pitching. You got a good ace in Shane Bieber, and then you got a good closer too. Don't forget about Emmanuel Chase. Clay.
Clase.
I always mess up on these guys' names, man. But people know who I'm talking about, though. But they have a great back end to their bullpen. So this team looks really, really good, and they can upset the Yankees yesterday, and that would be a huge embarrassment for the Yankees. If they lose to the Guardians.
I actually, on my sports betting show, at 3 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday, Easy Money and Sports Betting Show. Quick plug. But on my sports betting show this afternoon, I actually took Cleveland to win the game tonight because I figured tonight was going to be a bullpen game. Both teams were going to go to their bullpen early, and Cleveland has a hell of a bullpen, and then you have Clase as the closer. So I was favoring Cleveland tonight because you had Talion starting for the Yankees tonight. And if you look, he hadn't fared very well against the Guardians in the regular season. And you were going to have Savali for the Guardians, who hadn't pitched great, but pitched decent against the Yankees during the season. So I figured they were going to get to the bullpen quick, and I thought the advantage was with the Guardians there. But I thought the key to the game was the Guardians needed to jump on that Talion first, second inning, score a couple runs, get a lead, because all the pressure's on New York. There isn't no pressure on Cleveland. They've already passed their expectations for the season. Nobody thought Cleveland would be in the playoffs.
They're playing with house money.
Yeah, so I think they're going to go in this game a lot looser than what New York is, because especially if they can jump out and get like a 2-run lead in the first couple innings, because the longer that game goes with them having the lead, just more pressure is going to mount up on the Yankees.
And when you consider the season that the Yankees had historically and what Aaron Judge did to reach a personal achievement, that puts more pressure on the team. That raises expectations, for the Yankees as well. So
that was a catch. Right. That was a catch. Sorry.
I'm not watching it anymore. We put on a show to occupy our daughter.
I need a catch for fantasy.
So keep me updated.
Oh, he was out.
Keep me posted what's going on.
Well, let's see. Nope, he's out. He never got that other foot down. Damn it. But no. So yeah, I'm not sure let me see if they've changed if they have put who the Guardians are going to start tomorrow. I know as of today they were starting Savali, but with the game getting postponed, like I said, the Yankees changed their starter to Cortez, which helps the Yankees because Cortez is a lot better pitcher than Talion is.
Well, we won't see Bieber, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see Bieber.
We'll see him for game one.
It'd be nice to see if they could put Bieber out there, but I don't think they will.
No, they're going to save him for game one against the Astros.
Yeah, but the problem with saving him is there might not be a game one. But they'd have to pitch him on short rest. They have to pitch him on short rest, and I don't think they're going to do that. Right now, they still have Savali listed as the starter, and they have Cortez starting for New York. And then also tomorrow starts the National League Championship Series with the Phillies and the Padres. Who would have ever thought the Phillies and the Padres were going to be in the National League Championship Series? The Phillies I wouldn't want to play the Phillies right now. They're hot. They got past the Braves, and really took it to the Braves. Their bats started getting going. Castellanos finally got going. Bryce Harper got going. They're top of the order, who really struggled at the end of the season, and even in the wild card, really stepped up in that division series against the Braves. Phillies are hot. I wouldn't want to play them. Padres are hot too. I mean, they just knocked off the Dodgers, and so they're hot. It's going to be Yu Darvish for the Padres against Willer for the Phillies. So you got a great pitching matchup for Game 1 tomorrow night. I'm excited for that series. I think that's going to be a fun series to watch. And then I think whoever wins between the Guardians and Yankees is going to be a fun series with the Astros too. I think this has been a really good playoff so far. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, well, you have no 100+ win teams remaining. You know, they all fell to the underdogs. You know, so this is the year of the underdog. And America, this is a country that likes to root for the underdog. You know, so it's a beautiful thing for baseball. And if you're into baseball, and if you're even a casual fan, you got to be loving this as well. I mean, whoever thought that the Padres would beat a team that won 111 games and a team that had historically the best lineup in Major League Baseball? Like, who saw that coming? You know, and the Dodgers against the Padres, they were put in a pressure cooker. You know, particularly Tony Gonsolin, when he returned, this is a guy who didn't look like himself. This is a guy who didn't pitch as well as he did in the first half of the season. So you didn't often see or hear from Tony Gonsolin. And then, the Dodgers just didn't show up to play. For one, the Dodgers couldn't get any hits. So, I mean, the Padres just took advantage of that. They went on this magical run. And then on the other side, the team that they're about to face, the Phillies, they went on their own magical run. And it's been an improbable joyride for them. And now their run continues. Now they advance to the NLCS. And for the first time since 2010, and for the Padres, it's the first time since 1998.
Oh yeah, and I'll be honest with you, I like that there's going to be there's a chance that a team that hasn't won it in a while might win it this year. It always makes it fun to watch. When you brought up Gonsolin, I think Gonsolin should be the Cy Young winner for the National League. I really do. He had a great season. I know he didn't pitch great in the playoffs, but he had a great season. I think he should be the Cy Young winner of the National League. Man, I ain't gonna lie. I hope the Guardians knock off the Yankees because then that game. Well, you still have Houston that's won recently, but it ain't like they won. They haven't won since what 17, I think.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. Don't you want a big market team in there? At least one of the big market teams in there to face the underdog. I mean, that makes that makes the story more enticing.
Well, what's right? What make the story enticing though? It also is if Cleveland makes it because they're the youngest team in baseball. So if Cleveland makes it, and no matter which team out of the National League makes it going up against Cleveland, it's still going to be you still got that storyline because they're the youngest team in baseball. They got mostly homegrown talent on that team that they've developed through their minor league system. So it's not like they went and bought, went and tried to buy a team. So I think even without having them big market teams, people are still going to watch because a lot of people, like you said, they love underdogs. So if you have two underdogs on each side in the World Series, it's going to be fun to watch because people get tired of seeing the same team there every year.
Yeah,
Scott Guy says, no, you don't want a big market team at all. Small market teams draw more viewers for the World Series. But I picked the Yankees and the Mets in the World Series. Mets got knocked out quick. Yankees are holding on right now, but we'll see what happens tomorrow. Like I said, they're going to have Cortez on the mound tomorrow, so I think that helps them a lot.
Yeah, we'll see very soon.
But real quick, what happened to the Dodgers, man?
Man, what happens to them every year? It's the same thing year after year. You know, it's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. You build a team to compete for October, and you can never finish the job. Your team always finds a way to blow it, and that's been the Dodgers every year. I mean, this is something that has become customary for this Dodger team, is losing year after year in the postseason. And, you know, I kind of figured that it would happen. You know, I knew it. And I even told you, Chris, that this would be the case, right? The Dodgers season was an utter failure. It was an utter failure. This Dodgers team should be embarrassed. And, you know, they for one, they failed at the trade deadline to address the glaring hole, which was in the bullpen. That's number one. Number two, Dave Roberts failed to manage a postseason pitching staff. That's another issue right there. It was utterly ridiculous and absurd to pull Anderson out after 5 innings. Let him continue to pitch. But that's what happens when you rely heavily on analytics. And that's what the Dodgers are. They're a team that depend on analytics. Instead of leaving Anderson in the game to pitch, Dave Roberts decided to turn to his bullpen, and that was a huge mistake. If you was going to turn to your bullpen, at least bring in another pitcher that you know could get the outs. Blake Tryon was only used one time in the whole damn series. He was available. I think he was a reliever you would want to give the ball to, or even Dustin May. He never got the ball. I mean, you know, you didn't give the ball to the right pitchers, the right relievers. That was another issue too. And that's been Dave Roberts' problem, right? Year after year. He chooses the wrong pitchers at the wrong time in the wrong situations. And we saw that again. You know, the players, to me, they never showed any emotion. They looked as if they didn't even want to be at the game. You know, they didn't play with a lot of energy. They didn't have the heart. They didn't look inspired out there. They looked uninspired. They didn't look ready to play ball. They were clearly lackadaisical. And I questioned, where the hell was the passion? Because I had more passion than them doing this show tonight and doing that video on the night they lost. You know, but I will say this: the 2022 Dodgers are the biggest failures in baseball history. And I even did a video talking about it. I know you saw my rant. I went off. It was explosive. I was hot. I was heated. I was mad. Some of the stuff, I don't even know what the hell I was saying. I was just saying it to be saying it because it was clearly the moment, and that's how I was feeling at the moment. But I had to lash out about this team. This is a team that won a franchise record, 111 games, the best run differential since 1939. They beat the Padres by 22 games in the division, yet they couldn't get more than one game in the NLDS. It's unacceptable. It's inexcusable, and there needs to be some changes made on this damn team. They should be embarrassed of them. They should be embarrassed. We all should be, as Dodger fans. We deserve a refund. All the Dodger fans, all the season ticket holders out there, they deserve a damn refund because this was just unacceptable. This was terrible. It was a catastrophe, what it was. You know, they collapsed in a big moment. They should have won that game. We should have seen a game 5. We didn't get a game 5 because the Dodgers vomited all over themselves against the San Diego Padres. And keep this in mind too. The San Diego Padres, this is a team that won 89 games. 89 games. And this is a team that the Dodgers clearly owned all year long And then they get to October when it matters the most, and the Dodgers decide to cough up Dodger dogs after choking on them. And you know, they choke on them nasty, disgusting hot dogs every year. I always say that, you know, but this was a repeat of 2019. This was a repeat of 2018. This was a repeat of 2017. And I'm tired of watching the same movie year after year. My popcorn got stale and my Coke was flat, and I watched the same damn movie. And you know, we had high hopes for the Dodgers. We were hoping that they could win it for Van. You know, after Van Scully's passing, and not one damn game I mean, they only won one game in the damn series.
Chargers just kicked the field goal to win in overtime, 19-16.
At least the Chargers know how to win.
Dustin, I agree with you. I hope they give Bieber the ball tomorrow. They haven't announced it yet. Yankees have announced that they're starting Cortez. Guardians, I keep calling them the damn Indians. The Guardians are haven't announced it yet. I think that's their best option. Give Bieber the ball tomorrow. If you save him for game one and you don't make it, what are you saving him for? If he feels like he's ready, I put him out there. He's going to give you your best chance to win that game. But we'll see what they decide. Dustin also says the Dodgers are a regular season team. Anyone who thinks differently is foolish. The only time they won the World Series was a COVID shortened season with a neutral site game. Dodgers thought because they won 111 games, all they had to do was show up and they would win. Kind of goes with what you were saying.
Well, it's true. Everything Dustin said is freaking true about
Mickey.
They're only built for the regular season.
Mickey says that he thinks the Phillies manager should get manager of the year. They might. I mean, that was a big turn. They did make a big turnaround after they got rid of Girardi and the new coach took over. He got an he signed a 2-year extension with them to be head coach now permanently. So
yeah, after Joe Girardi's tumultuous tenure, that team did see a drastic turnaround. You know, and they made a gradual climb to get to where they are now. It's amazing to see. This was a team that was 22-29 when Thompson took over. So I mean, you know, it's amazing how far this team has come, because this team dealt with so much adversity.
They got hot at the right time, man. They've gotten hot at the right time. Let's talk a little NFL. Did the Buffalo Bills prove that they're the best team in the AFC with their win over the Chiefs yesterday? What do you think, John?
I think that's a fair assessment to say that the Bills are the team to beat in the AFC. Did you see what Josh Allen did? He was jumping over bodies. You know, he was making plays, you know, throwing darts across the field. The guy is clearly, and I've been saying this, the guy is clearly the best quarterback in the NFL. There's no question about it. And this team is shorthanded defensively, and they're still coming up with big stops. They're still, you know, making plays, and they're still, you know, holding the other team from scoring. So I mean, you know, the Buffalo Bills to me might be the most complete team in the NFL.
Yeah, I think they're the best team right now. I think Josh Allen's playing as good as anybody in the league. I'd put him right up there as the best quarterback. Don't get me wrong, Mahomes is playing well too. Can't take nothing away from Mahomes. He's having a great season as well. But I just think Allen's, man, he's just on fire. And there's rumors. There's talk, I should say, not rumors. There's talk that the Buffalo Bills are going to try to make a move to get Christian McCaffrey. And if you add McCaffrey to that Bills team, man, that offense gets even scarier.
Oh, it's over.
Because now you have another running back, but he's also basically another receiver.
Yeah, Oh
So
no, that wouldn't be fair to the rest of the league. That
and there's also,
that would be totally unfair.
and if they don't get him, there's talk that they might get that OBJ might go there when he's healthy and ready. So
and then that would really be unfair for the rest of the league if that happens.
I'd like to have I'd like to have
Super
OBJ in Indianapolis. We could use a veteran receiver.
Wherever he goes, he's going to make an impact. If he behaves the way he did last year with the Rams, and if he keeps his cool, and if he's able, to keep his emotions in check, yeah, he'll make a significant impact somewhere.
Oh yeah, I agree. Like I said, I like him in Indy, and I used to always say, "Oh, I don't want OBJ on the team because of some of the drama he brought and everything." But if he could buy in like he did last year and just play football, and not worry about all the other off the field shit and making controversies and stuff like that, just focus on football like he did last year. I'd love to have him in Indy because being a veteran guy. I think he would help our young guys. And we have at rookie receiver, we got Pierce is starting to step up and play some ball too. So he's had a couple big games in a row. So I think we might have found us a pretty good receiver there to go with Pittman. It'd be nice to have a veteran in that room.
It's always nice to have a veteran in your locker room.
You think real quick? We'll go ahead and then we'll move on to another NFL topic. But Nathaniel Hackett, does he make it the whole season in Denver?
I don't know if he's gonna make it through the whole season. It's not. I mean, it's not looking good for the Denver Broncos.
You don't think he's gonna make the whole season? I don't know.
I don't know. I think there's a possibility because the Broncos are not known for firing coaches in the middle of the season, so there is a great chance he'll get fired on Black Monday.
Yeah,
but I don't think he coaches beyond the 2022 season.
Oh no, I think he'll be, if he don't get fired during the season, he'll get fired at the end of the season. I really do believe that. I don't know if they'll fire him during the season just because I think it was Dustin that brought it up on the afternoon show, was that because it's his first season as coach, so just for PR, they'll probably not probably won't fire him this year. They'll wait or during the season. They'll wait to the end of the year. But I mean, hell, he was only brought in there because they thought he was going. If they got him, that Aaron Rodgers was going to come.
Yeah, they were inclined to make a move to acquire Aaron Rodgers, and that's the only reason he really got the job. That's the only reason he met the qualifications to get hired as the head coach.
Dustin said, in order to take Beckham, you're banking on him beyond this season. That's true. Hackett gets through this year, and that's it. Sean Payton will take over. I mean, that wouldn't be a bad move at all.
I have a sense that Sean Payton is gonna become the next Cowboys head coach. I think that's his dream job. I think that's where his preferred destination is if he does decide to coach again. And when he does decide to coach again, I think his next coaching stop could be in Dallas.
I don't think he goes.
What's up, Anthony? Thanks for joining us.
Anthony, thanks for joining us. I don't think he ends up in Dallas because he wants to be somewhere where he has full control. And you know how Jerry Jones is. Plus, if Dallas makes the playoffs this year with McCarthy, I don't see them getting rid of McCarthy. But
let me ask you something. Do you think because Jerry Jones is a little bit more pragmatic now, knowing that, you know, he's getting older and he eventually would like to see his team win a Super Bowl title, do you think he would be willing to finally give up some of that power and hire a guy like Sean Payton and let him do his thing as the head coach and just sit back and let him make more of the personnel decisions and give him more of the leeway to run the team the way he is comfortable doing so?
I don't think so. I don't see Jerry Jones. Only way Jerry Jones is going to give up that power is when he passes away. He's been like that for so many years. Why? I mean, look, He got Jimmy. Look at Jimmy Johnson. They were winning Super Bowls, and he got rid of Jimmy Johnson because he didn't because him and Jimmy Johnson were butting heads because Jimmy wanted that control, and I think that's just, and I just don't. That's why I don't think Peyton will go there. I mean,
And Anthony says, agreed. McCarthy is holding a spot for Peyton.
my dad said no way. I agree. I don't think Jones is going to give up the power. Anthony says his Eagles exposed to cowpokes. Stopping the run and quick pass game is the blueprint. And
yeah. And you know what? The Eagles continue to dominate in the second quarter. You know, they like to light up the scoreboard in the second quarter. They look really, really good once again in the second quarter. And this Eagles team clearly looks unbeatable. I will say it again. They're the best team in the NFC East.
I don't think they look unbeatable. Don't get me wrong, they're a good team, but I don't think they look unbeatable.
A lot of people are saying that because they barely won against the Cowboys, and the Cowboys had their second string quarterback.
Well, not even that. I think Buffalo's been more impressive to me than what the Eagles are. And don't get me wrong, the Eagles are a good team. They're a well-balanced team.
That's true.
They have a great defensive line.
Yeah.
The Eagles have a great defensive line, and Hurts is getting better. But to me, the Bills have been more impressive. And I think the Chiefs have been more impressive than the Eagles.
Really?
Chiefs? The Chiefs, yeah. The Chiefs look good every game, other than even that game yesterday.
They really
looked yesterday. They didn't play bad.
They really looked good in that game against Tampa, against Brady and the Bucks. That's the game I think I did a video on. Yeah, that was the game. That was the game where Patrick Mahomes, I believe, threw 5 touchdown passes to Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
And Travis Kelce just like shredded that defense.
Anthony said at this point, Jerry will be willing to let Peyton run things for a championship, just like Jimmy in the 90s.
I think so too. That's what I was saying, because he's more pragmatic now, and he understands, what's at stake with the roster that he has. All you need now is to, hire the right coach that can guide this team a step further.
But if they keep having a good year this year, I don't see them getting rid of McCarthy. I really don't.
McCarthy has won a Super Bowl before, but
Anthony says my Eagles are trending upwards, but not unbeatable. I still give the edge to Buffalo. That would be a great Super Bowl, Bills and Eagles. Book it.
That would be one hell of a Super Bowl. That really would. You got a high-flying offense against a pretty good defense. I like that. That would be a fun Super Bowl. That Super Bowl maybe should have happened last year when it was played here in LA.
All right. Then you had your Rams. Your Rams picked up a win over the weekend against the Panthers, if you want to call that a win.
Well, somebody needed to win in LA, right? Because the USC Trojans, they lost.
You had a bad weekend in sports, didn't you?
I had a terrible weekend. Sports wise, yes, I had a terrible weekend. It was awful. It's a weekend that I want to forget. It's a weekend that I prefer not to talk about at all.
I had a pretty good sports weekend. My Colts.
You did. Yeah, but you don't have to rub it in. Thank you very much, my friend, for rubbing it in, making me feel terrible now. I feel really, really bad. I was super, super heartbroken and depressed.
Let me ask you this: Did you watch any baseball yesterday?
I didn't.
I saw you post that you weren't going to.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I watched all football yesterday. I was so disgusted and still trying to process everything that transpired in that Dodger game that I didn't even bother to watch any baseball yesterday.
What do you think about the New York?
And then the night that I wanted, and then on the night I wanted to watch baseball, the game gets rained out.
Oh, tonight?
Yeah, I was excited. I wasn't gonna watch Monday Night Football. I was gonna watch the Yankees and the Guardians.
Yep.
You know, that's what I had my eyes set on. But then, you know, it was raining cats and dogs.
I was going to watch
New York, and
I was going to
so
watch both
they
of
had
them.
to postpone the game.
I was going to watch both. I was going to have the football game on one TV and the baseball game on the other TV.
No, I was just gonna give my full attention to baseball tonight.
What do you think about the Giants?
Man,
they beat the Ravens.
Brian, the ball has those boys playing. You know, he has those guys playing, man. It's his conviction, his dedication, and his philosophy. You know, and I think those players have really bought into that. I think he has instilled confidence in those players, and he has already shown that he is the guy who can reshape that culture because now things are trending upward for that New York Giants team.
Well, man, I'll tell you what, their defensive line is nasty, man. Their defensive line's nasty. Their biggest weakness is at receiver. They don't really have a big weapon at receiver. I know you have Saquon's playing out of his mind right now. Hopefully he can stay healthy. But the other thing Dayball's done is he's been able to get Daniel Jones to cut down on the turnovers. And yeah, and I agree with what Dustin is saying right here. Dayball's right now, Dayball's coach of the year. I mean, I don't know how you could give it to anybody else right now, unless the Giants just collapse. But with the way they're playing, I agree. Dayball's the coach of the year. Lamar is playing himself out of a monster contract. I kind of agree with that too because he's been struggling in the fourth quarters of games. And at the beginning of the year, I thought, hey, this dude's playing at an MVP level. And I'm not saying that all the collapse is all his fault because the defense has collapsed a couple times too in them losses. But like yesterday, turning the ball over late in the game, you can't do that. What's your thoughts on that? Do you think Lamar might end up costing himself some money?
Well, yeah, he was playing at an elite level, and then he took a turn for the worse, and now he has kind of reverted back to some old habits where he's turning over the football. You know, he's not making good decisions with the football, and she's trying to steal the show right now. You know. But
it's using my dog barking.
But I do think by betting on himself that he is costing himself money. But that was the risk that he took. And you got to remember too, Lamar Jackson represents himself. He doesn't have an agent representing him. He doesn't have representation. So by representing himself, he feels that he can bet on himself. And he's basically making his own decisions and really think highly of himself that he can, reset the market for quarterbacks and get one of the richest deals in football. But he's going to have to step his game up, and he's going to have to play a lot better and clean up some things if he wants that financial security and he wants to be able to secure that bag.
Let's see. Damien says, I think Nick Sirianni could be coach of the year.
That's a good pick as well.
Yeah, but
look at the Eagles. The Eagles improved to 6-0 on the season.
Yeah.
They're undefeated. They're the only undefeated team in the NFL.
But the Eagles everybody expected the Eagles to be good this year because of the way they started looking toward the end of last year. Nobody expected the Giants to do what they're doing. Now, don't get me wrong. The Giants could collapse. And then, Sirianni could get it. But I think right now, I think Dayball's the one that'll get it. But you never know. I mean, it's early in the season. We're only 6 weeks into the season, so it could change. But, no, I think Sirianni's a name that definitely could be should be mentioned in the conversation. But I think, like as of right now, if you had to pick one, I think it'd be Dable. But you just got to see where the teams go the rest of the season. Uh, Coach Dante says, "What's up? What's up, man? Thanks for joining us."
What up? What up? Thanks for joining us.
John Suggs said, "Dang, me and Jonathan had rough weekends. Both our teams got knocked out of the playoffs, Dodgers and Braves."
Yep. A terrible weekend. It was a hard weekend, man. It
Me and
almost drove me to pop a cold one, man. It really did.
me and the stat guy were talking about it this morning. All your and like you really did your team to get kicked out of the playoffs to pop a cold one. You probably already had popped a cold one before that, but anyway. But me and the stat guy were talking. If you look, all the teams that had buys are out except the Yankees. They're the only team that had a first round bye that are still in it.
Right. So could it have been because of rust? Maybe.
I don't know. I think
That's what Ross Stripley said. I read his tweet.
I think with some of the pitching, pitchers are so routine oriented that they want to throw every 4 or 5 days, and when you get nine days off, I think it does mess with them. That's why I agree with Dustin. I think it'd be awesome if baseball would expand the playoffs. Like Dustin said, add 2 teams on each side, have 8 teams. Nobody gets a bye. First seed plays the 8th seed, second seed plays the 7th seed, so on. I think that would be great for baseball. I agree with Dustin on that. But yeah, I don't know if it was. Yeah, Eagles were a playoff team last year. So and that's another. Hey, Dustin mentions another guy, Salah with the Jets. If they keep doing what they're doing, he'll be right up there. They've won 3 games in a row on the road. Zach Wilson's came back from injury and playing some good ball. Their defense is getting some turnovers.
The Jets look interesting.
Lamar not worth $300 million. He has thrown way too many picks and has too many fumbles that could have cost the Ravens a W.
The thing with me, about Lamar Jackson is
Houston. I forgot about Houston. Houston's still in it too with the bye.
His numbers have declined. His numbers have declined. It seems each year his numbers have declined. That's the thing that gets me with Lamar Jackson. It seems like he's getting worse, not any better. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Did you see Bradley Chubb flag he got for hugging Justin Herbert? No, I didn't see that. That must have been.
I missed that.
Yeah,
that must have been after I turned the game off.
Or yeah, it might have been when I went and took the dog outside because I didn't see that play, and I watched most of the game. But hey, the way they're calling roughing the passers right now, it wouldn't surprise me. It's been crazy how they've been calling roughing the passer penalties. Look it up.
What, they don't like bear hugs anymore? I thought that was an act of generosity.
He said, "Look it up on YouTube." I will. I'll look it up on Zach. I will look it up on YouTube and look at it here in a few. Thanks for joining us, everybody. I appreciate everybody in the comment section making comments. Please hit that subscribe button on YouTube at Gonzo Sports Room, at the Sports Judge, and at the All Sports All Plays Network. We'd all greatly appreciate it. Same thing on Facebook. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all at Gonzo Sports Room, and at the All Sports All Plays Network. What game did you watch? What game did you watch on Sunday that had the most interest for you? Besides, we talked a little bit about the Eagles. The Rams got a win. Was there any other games that you had your eye on?
No, I just had my eyes on the Bills and the Chiefs and the Cowboys and the Eagles. Those were the games that I focused on the most. Those are the games that were on my TV. You know, because I think the other game that I got during the morning was the Ravens and the Giants, and I didn't get any other game.
Damien,
the market I live in, I got the Rams game, but I didn't watch the Rams game because the Rams game was on at the same time as the Bills and the Chiefs.
Damien says baseball is way too long. Why change it to 8 teams, especially when there are people who don't watch baseball that much? By expanding it, you're only adding like a couple more games. It ain't gonna make the season it ain't gonna make it no longer, because on that wild card day when you had the 4 games, you'd have 2 more games that day. You can play them on the same. You can play them games on the same days that you're already playing. So it's not gonna make it. It's not going to make the season any longer. You know what I mean? Because like when they had the buys, they'd have been playing that day instead of having a buy. So it's really not going to make the season. It wouldn't make the season no longer if you expand the playoffs. John said, "I see NFL keeping Thursday night terrible games. Bears versus Washington. Yeah, we haven't got no good Thursday night games."
Yeah, well, then you don't need Amazon Prime Video. What the hell you need it for if they're gonna keep putting all these trash games on?
Dustin said watching the Packers get ever living crap kicked out of them was amazing.
It's not looking too good for them. And then
Bengals
Randall
versus
Cobb
Saints was close.
parted off the field.
And this is something that Dustin had told me earlier. But speaking of that, from a Green Bay source, unless the Packers make drastic roster improvements, Rodgers has informed the team that he plans to retire following the season.
He probably should have retired after last season.
He's still all right, but he's still
good. He just doesn't have anybody to throw the freaking ball to.
Yep, but hey, that happens sometimes when you take a lot of money for them paying you. Well, I had a great time watching the Colts game. That was a good game, close game. Looked like at the beginning of the game, looked like Jacksonville was going to do the same thing that they did to us a few weeks ago. I mean, but the Colts came out. One thing the Colts have to do, they got to quit throwing the ball so damn much. Matt Ryan threw the ball 37 times in the first half. We got completely away from a running game. I understand we didn't have Taylor or Hines, but we can't expect Matt Ryan to throw the ball 55, 60 times a game every game. John Suggs says Green Bay should sign OBJ. I think that would be a great move, but you're right, John. I don't know if they'll be able to afford him.
I don't know if him and Aaron Rodgers will be able to get along. That's that right there is the bigger question.
I think they'd be all right.
You guys have huge egos. They have enormous egos, and I just don't know. I can see those two guys clashing.
Don't ask for $50 million a year, and maybe you would still have Adams and more help. And then Zach says, "I hope tonight's official gets fired for rigging it for the Chargers." Yeah, I'm gonna have to get on YouTube and look that up. And see.
Speaking of rigged, do you think the Dodgers rigged that game?
The Dodgers?
Do you think they got paid to lose? That's a conspiracy theory right now. No, I kid you not. It is.
I don't think so. But you never. I mean,
I don't think so either. I don't think they got paid to lose, but I'm hearing that conspiracy theory.
Stat guy said, "Here's a fun stat from the night. The Broncos had 151 penalty yards tonight, which is an NFL record. Another knock on Hackett." Oh yeah, I know they showed in the first half where they had more penalty yards than they had actual yards that they've gained. It was the one rookie had 4 pass interference calls in the first half.
Oh, Mathis, the dude that shares the same last name as me? Yeah. Undisciplined.
Damon said, "Hell no, OBJ better not go to cheese balls." John said, "If that's the case, I guess the Dodgers have been getting paid for the last 10 years.
I wouldn't be surprised. Well, no, I don't believe that is rigged. I think that's just a conspiracy theory that's going around, these people come up with conspiracy theories because they have nothing better to do.
Dak Prescott plans on playing next week. Do you think that's a smart move by the Cowboys?
Yeah, I heard about that. I don't think that's a smart move. I think it's too soon to rush him back. I think the only reason they're rushing him back because they're feeling nervous and a little bit scared now after losing to the Eagles.
Could be.
Because they were winning games until they faced the Eagles. And now that they lost the game, now all of a sudden you're hearing about Dak Prescott planning to come back.
Yeah, or Dustin said Dodgers are a great example of that. Money doesn't buy everything. But John, we actually Dustin and me, there's Dustin and I think it was Rob Scott talked about this on the afternoon show, and I agree. Dustin had brought it up. I wouldn't bring him back till after the bye week. That gives him basically 3 more weeks off. You should know that finger is completely healthy. I think they're rushing him back because they lost to the Eagles and now they're
exactly. I'm telling you, but this is a mistake. This is a huge mistake right here to rush him back, because you rush him back, then he's gonna have a setback, and then what? Then we'll be talking about the possibility of them not having them ready to go for the playoffs, and that's when you're really gonna need them during the playoffs. I mean, Cooper Rush is doing a good job to manage the team right now. He's played really well, but you're going to need Dak Prescott, back back and ready to go for the postseason.
Oh yeah. No, I agree.
Right now, let your defense carry you, which is what has been, the story for the Dallas Cowboys, is that fearsome and boisterous defense that they boast. So let the defense do its thing. Let the defense make it easier on the offense, and you'll be fine.
Oh no, I agree with you. All right, you NBA regular season starts tomorrow. Let's talk about it a little bit before we get out of here. Who you got as your early favorite to be the champions this year? Do you think the Warriors can repeat, or do you see another team coming in?
I do think the Warriors can repeat. You have Steph Curry, who's a pure shooter. You have Klay Thompson, another pure shooter. You have Jordan Poole, who they just locked up, gave him a big deal. You still have the same team coming in from last year, and you have a chance to repeat.
Yeah, I have the Warriors as my early favorite. I think they're going to be better than they were last year, but there's going to be a few teams in the West, like John said, the Clippers. I think the Clippers are going to be could be a scary team if they can stay healthy.
Nah, the Clippers, man, they always choke. They could be
you're saying that because
no, I'm not saying that
because you're a Lakers fan.
I'm saying that because you remember they choked on chicken nuggets a few years back in the bubble when they lost to the Nuggets, and that was in the Disney World bubble. I never believe in the Clippers because they always find a way. They're like the Dodgers. They always find a way to blow it.
I think the Clippers could be there.
Now I do like the Sixers' chances, though. I'm with John there. I think the Sixers will make some noise in the East.
I think the Pelicans are going to make some noise in the West with a healthy Zion if he can stay healthy. Memphis is a good scrappy young team. Denver Nuggets, I think, are going to be better this year because they're going to get Murray and Michael Porter Jr. back. Give Joker some help. I think the Mavericks are going to be better. I think it's going to be a good NBA season. I think the East, I think is wide open. There could be
The Memphis Grizzlies are intriguing because they have, of course, Ja Morant, one of the most explosive players in the game, if not the most explosive. He's fun to watch. That team is going to be really, really fun to watch.
Yeah.
I think the Memphis Grizzlies can, be terrorizing for a lot of teams in the West.
John said no one giving Lakers a chance, laughing out loud.
Hell no. The Lakers are a disaster. A disaster waiting to happen. There's too many personalities on one team. There's too many egos on one team. I'm telling you, man, this team is going to implode.
We'll see. They could.
The Lakers think by just putting names on a team that's going to magically just win you an NBA championship, and it doesn't work like that.
No. All right, you got any final thoughts before we get out of here?
No, but Maddie got a final thought for us all. What do you want to tell everyone out there since you've been talking through the whole show? What would you like to tell everybody? Huh? Go, you have the floor, open forum. She gives a thumbs up.
Thumbs up. All right.
She literally gives a thumbs up. She said that the show was awesome tonight.
Hey,
She said that she enjoyed the show and that she thinks you're a great co-host, Chris.
I agree. Thank you. All right. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button on YouTube at GonzoSportsRoom, at the Sports Judge, and at the All Sports All Plays Network. Follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all at GonzoSportsRoom, and at the All Sports Network, All Sports All Plays Network as well. You'll be able to find, I'll be on 9 a.m. Eastern tomorrow with the stat guy, Dustin Reese, who's been in the comments. Me and him do a baseball show. We'll be on tomorrow morning talking about the championship series that starts tomorrow in the National League, and we'll talk about the Yankees and the Guardians. I got to quit calling them the damn other name. But that's at 9 a.m. You can find me at 1 p.m. Eastern on the ASAP Afternoon Blitz. Then 3 p.m. tomorrow, Easy Money, a sports betting show. And then don't forget to check out Unscripted, 7 p.m. Eastern, Tuesdays and Thursdays. You can find that in the All Sports All Plays Network or at Unscripted on Facebook. If you haven't checked out the All Sports All Plays Network, go check them out. Got a lot of talented guys over there. And the show's basically from about 9 in the morning till midnight. We usually on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays we basically close the night out on ASAP. Anything I forgot, Judge?
No, you didn't. You
All
said
right.
everything that needed to be said.
All right. Well, appreciate everybody watching us. Like I said, please hit that subscribe button. We greatly appreciate that. Leave a review on the Facebook pages as well. That helps new people see our stuff. But we will see you guys Wednesday night at 11 p.m. Eastern with another episode of Gonzo and the Judge Sports Talk. Thanks for watching. Everybody be safe tonight. Peace.
Peace.
All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.